so hitting the scene. Shit tales of ours and foreigner dreams. Tales are crazy wild as the wind. Raps and madness can make you spin. Shit tales rolling forward is king. The podcast chaos, it's a wild thing. Tuning folks for a hell of a ride. Crazy stories far and wide. From down under to the Sunshine State, mishaps and mayhem can't escape fate. Chuvalo and Croc Dundee, a wild ride on Podcast C. Shit tales rolling forward is king. Podcast chaos, it's a wild thing. Tuning folks for a hell of a ride. Crazy stories far and wide. From down under to the Sunshine State, mishaps and mayhem can't escape fate. Chuvalo and Croc Dundee, a wild ride on Podcast C. Shit tales rolling forward is king. Podcast chaos, it's a wild thing. Tuning folks for a hell of a ride. Crazy stories far and wide.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or wherever time zone you're in. I am NCR News Network, joined by always by friend, co-host, and the man, the myth. His name is Jeff Anthony Caruso.
Mini Majiv. Oh, you know what? It's always a good day when you can start off by pulling out something like that straight away. So,
That is
yes,
true.
good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone here. What a day it is! What a day it has been! What a week it's been! We've seen
Go ahead.
we've seen some absolute shithousery that's been going on, especially when it comes to court proceedings that have been happening online. No doubt everyone's been following the Karen Reid trial, and if you want to get some views, thoughts, and opinions on it, make sure you go check out Really Cool News and Really Cool Site on your latest news. But NCR, I think we've got something a little bit special today.
Yes, we actually have a new sponsor. And
No way!
Yes, and ironically, it's a legal firm.
Wow. Are we going to have to crack out Harvey Specter to come and help us on this?
I don't think we need.
Or are we talking Jack McCoy level?
We put it this way. These guys make Jack McCoy look like a high school debate team.
I'm looking forward to this.
So let's take a look at our new sponsor.
Do you want to sue someone you love? Need to protect your First Amendment rights no matter what the situation? Want to make yourself infamous in court? Make sure you give a call to DeCastro, Myers and Blandino. DeCastro, Myers and Blandino are the very best in self-sabotaging cases, ensuring that they can get you the maximum punishment for whatever crime you may have committed. They are also the perfect legal team to ensure that you can flood the legal system with unnecessary documentation. With the ability to practice nationwide, there is no need to risk dealing with land pirates. They come to you. And the best part is, it is 100% guarantee money down. So give DeCastro, Myers and Blandino a call on 1-800-VEX-LIT and ensure that you are always making a record.
Habla español a premium dos.
Ooh. Got some legends right there.
Oh, wow. I did not realize we were going to get one of the premier law firms on, especially those specializing in constitutional law.
I know. I mean, I was expecting, somebody like insignificant like John Morgan or some other so-called lawyer like Law Talk with Mike or Natalie Lawyer Chick.
Or dare I say, Legal Eagle himself.
I know, but I mean, the Castro, Myers, and Blandino. I mean, wow, that's a legal team.
That is a dream team. Eat your heart out, OJ Simpson. That is the true legal team right there.
Although it is funny that the check didn't clear. They told me
I'm sorry, what?
They told me the check's going to clear.
Did we make a record of it?
Yes, Blandino did make a record of it.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, look, there's only one way we can hope we can get through that. We just have to wait and see.
It's true.
With that in mind, I do have the ceremonial coin. We're in for some shenanigans here tonight. NCR, make your call.
I'm calling heads this week.
Heads is the call, and it's a tail.
Oh, bugger.
Finally getting to start things off here tonight, and in 10th place for the shit towns of Australia, we're off to Port Pirie, South Australia, and would you believe it? Whilst they are still shit, I have an actual story.
Oh, my.
South Australia Health Building in Port Pirie has been evacuated and employees hospitalised due to a pigeon infestation.
What?
Yes, you heard me right. About 100 South Australia Health employees have been moved from a building in Port Pirie due to a pigeon infestation. SA Health say the workers were moved from the Port Pirie Community Health Administration building last Wednesday and the building was temporarily closed. York and Northern Local Health Network Chief Executive Roger Kirchner said staff notified them of the problem affecting multiple areas of the building's top floor. The tests have come back and certainly show bacteria.
Of course.
That is just straight out disgusting. What is going on there? Like, how on earth do you get a pigeon infestation like that?
It sounds like a plot to a sitcom, honestly.
It is. In fact, I think someone's got an opinion on this.
It's just not right. It's really eerie here. Something's fucky.
Thank you, Bubbles.
That something's very fucky, honestly.
Indeed.
Now,
Indeed.
Now, apparently they've engaged another group of independent testers who have been testing the ground floor as well, and they're still checking to see how bad it is. But when you have a pigeon infestation like this, it can't be good. And you know what? I just got to illustrate how disgusting it is. It's not often we get to do this when it comes to Port Pirie, but you know what? Bugger it. Let me show you how disgusting this is. This is the top of one of the building, the Port Pirie Community Health Administration, and there's two of the little buggers there right now.
Come at me, bro.
I mean, shall we zoom in a little bit on this?
Have they
There we go.
defecated all over the windows?
No, that looks like cobwebs that hasn't actually been cleaned.
Is this what he
And
can
look at that.
either or?
Look at the mold.
Yeah.
And it gets better. There's one of the buildings now. Look how many pigeons there are.
Are you guys reshooting the birds down there?
I reckon they are. God, either that or for the Australians watching in on this, Bill Laurie's racing pigeons have landed at Port Pirie.
I mean, Port Pirie, you're supposed to release doves at the start of a race, not pigeons.
Yeah. So, Port Pirie, not only are you shit at the moment, but your pigeons are adding to the shit right now.
Oh, Port Pirie.
NCR, who is your number 10?
Number 10 is a Florida woman. Florida woman was arrested after punching an officer in the testicles and refusing to pay her tab at a steakhouse.
Ouch. Painful.
Indeed. But I can confirm it was not the Holy Smokes barbecue.
No, Pope Phil, his holiness would not have allowed it to happen.
But a 32-year-old woman this week was arrested after allegedly refusing to pay her tab at the steakhouse in downtown Ocala and punching an officer in the testicles after she was escorted out of the restaurant. On Tuesday, May 6th, several Ocala police officers were reported to Mark's Prime Steakhouse on 30 South Magnolia Avenue in reference to a woman who was identified as Rachel King, who had refused to pay her tab according to the arrest reports. When one of the officers entered the restaurant, King was observed sitting at the bar, and the report states that she appeared to be highly intoxicated. The manager informed the police that King had refused to pay her tab, which was $99.53. The officers escorted King out of the steakhouse to the patio area where she was sitting down in a chair. According to a report by a bystander, offered to help King get cash to pay her tabs, she may leave, and that she would first need to send her some money by Venmo. The report stated that King gave the officer permission to assist her in sending the money to the bystander. While officers were attempting to send the money, King used her cell phone and allegedly became agitated and stated to the officer, "Just leave her alone." King snatched the phone from the officer's hand, allegedly raised her right fist as she could far back, and then punched the officer square in the testicles.
Ooh, ouch!
Yes. And moments later, King was placed under arrest and booked into the Marion County Jail, and she was released from the facility after posting a $17,500 bond. King was charged with battery on a law enforcement officer and swindling and defrauding an innkeeper of under $300. She's reported to be back in court for a scheduled appearance on June 10th at 9 a.m., according to jail records. But I do have some body cam footage from after the officer was hit.
I'm waiting for this. Let's see it.
You have been kicked in the testicles.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
God damn it, Phil.
It just wouldn't be a true podcast episode unless we did a little bit of public shaming.
Gotta do it.
And there's Mrs. King.
She
Why
looks
she
like she was rejected as an extra for the Wicked musical.
She looks like she could be the stunt double for the chick that plays Darlene on Roseanne. I thought Vicky was the one with the drinking problem.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Who's your number 9, sir?
Number 9 takes us to Lake Macquarie, up in New South Wales, where a maniac has filmed himself shooting a shotgun out of a moving car on a busy street. A man has been charged after shots were allegedly fired from a moving vehicle in New South Wales and Lake Macquarie. What a name this is, well. Brandon Rogan.
Not to be related to Joe Rogan.
Exactly. Was charged with a string of offences following a tip-off from a member of the public regarding a vehicle circulating online showing a man allegedly pointing what appears to be a shotgun out of the window and pulling the trigger. Now, I just want to let Brandon know, first off, you're not in Ravenholm, Father Gregory is not around, and we don't need you aiming for the head.
I'd love the reference.
Police allege the video was uploaded to social media by the accused and sent to authorities by a viewer. It was alleged filming sometime during the past 24 hours on a street in Toronto. And it is Toronto in New South Wales, not Toronto in Canada. Officers were later covertly surveilling a white Mazda CX-5 on Burnley Street in Tenenbaum when a man fired a gun in the air from the parked car about 9:35 p.m. Rogan was then arrested after he was tracked by Polair and taken out. He's been since charged with 11 offences, including discharging a weapon in a public place, possessing an unauthorised gun, driving without a license, speeding, and take and drive conveyance without consent of the owner. Oh, it gets spicy as well. A 22-year-old woman who was inside the home with the man who was arrested was also charged with concealed serious indictable offense and goods in personal custody suspected of being stolen. She was also bail refused.
Well, it could have happened to a nicer couple.
I know we don't have it, but we do need to have this one day where we can just use that clip from South Park. So I pulled out my gun. And to continue our proud tradition of naming and shaming, ladies and gentlemen, this is Brandon Rogan. And the first thing I want to point out is, ladies and gentlemen, check out the neck beard.
I got these chin pelt, mate.
And we do have a news article we might be able to play. So I'm going to see if this actually works. As soon as we get past the bloody ad. Don't you love that?
I know.
We will give credit. We will give credit, though. This is 9 News, so we do thank 9 News for the access to be able to show this. Hopefully this works. Yep, this is going to work. So, hang on, here we go. So here he is driving along.
What's with the bro's hairline for real?
Logan is accused of filming himself behind the wheel, driving down one of Toronto's busiest streets.
There it is.
Allegedly putting what appears to be a shotgun out the window and pulling the trigger.
And we won't be watching that much further. But, yep, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, Brandon Rogan.
Well, we know the movie Hobo with a Shotgun. That looks like a fatso with a Twinkie.
And as I said, how's the neck beard on him?
I mean, I'm a collector of mullets. I'm gonna have to say I've seen better mullets for truck stops. And it's coming off the lot.
Yeah, indeed. Who is your number 9?
Number 9 is a bit of a funny one. But a Florida man breaks into his ex-girlfriend's house through the doggy door.
We sure wasn't a fairy.
The ex finds him in her bed, snuggling, and assures, leading to the Florida man's arrest through the house. Oh. But yes, we have a Florida man who broke into somebody's house through the doggy door. Esteban County Sheriff's deputies arrested the man May 7th after he allegedly broke into his ex-girlfriend's house through the doggy door. According to the court documents, 26-year-old Glenn William Ross broke into the house on North 61st Street Avenue on May 4th. Deputies were called to the house reporting a break-in after the ex had found Ross in her bed, according to documents. Pardon.
Jeez. I've had a bit of Vaucluse bitter lately, have you?
Oh, I celebrated a wedding last night.
And explains
I had
it.
a case by myself. Had a case myself, so. But eventually the two struggle to find the female passively proceeding to hit Russ on his nose like a bad boy. Bad boy. No word of a newspaper was used, but he hit him in the face on his nose with her elbow. Ross left the same way he came in, through the doggy door. No word if he was bonded out, but he was charged with burglary and assault and battery charges. But I do have a picture of our wannabe Florida man doggy door enter. And, well, There's our Florida man.
He looks like he's been stoned and working in IT too long.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's only one thing we have to say to him.
Drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs. If you do them, you're bad. Because drugs are bad, okay? It's a bad thing to do drugs, so don't be bad by doing drugs, okay? That'd be bad. Drugs are bad.
Okay.
Mhm.
But my God, you go and break into your ex's house. I've heard stories like this before. Usually they just have a key or they'll just pop a window, but the doggy door, and then getting your ass wet, and then forcing your way back through the doggy door. It's a whole level of shame that we don't see a lot.
Oh, that's amazing. And I'm just impressed he fit.
Apparently, it was a large breed door, but still, you have to do some contorting to get through that door.
Yeah, a fair
Who
bit.
is your number 8, sir?
My number 8 takes us to Hobart in Tasmania, where 5 feral kids, including an 11-year-old girl, have been charged over a bottle robbery. Yes, some more youth crime, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, God.
Oh, it just makes you sick, doesn't it?
It does.
Here we go. A group of 5 youths, including an 11-year-old girl, have been charged over an alleged robbery at a Hobart bottle shop. 4 of the youths are set to face the Hobart Youth Justice Court in July, while the youngest will be dealt with through diversionary measures under the Youth Justice Act. Tasmania Police said the group was charged after allegedly stealing from the liquor outlet on Sunday night. Among those charges, a 14-year-old boy facing robbery and possession of a controlled plant charges, and another 14-year-old faces robbery and bail offences. He was out on bail!
Of course he was.
Hang on. Hang on. Oh, God. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen.
And the plot thickens!
Because 2 13-year-olds who were also involved were also charged not only with robbery but with bail offences.
What the hell's going on down there, man?
This is, you know, you get to this point, seriously, where you almost need to have a long, hard talk with them. It boggles the mind. And I think Bender needs to make an appearance here.
Have you ever tried simply turning off the TV, sitting down with your children, and hitting them?
See, this is what happens when you let these kids hang around people like Neil.
Yeah.
I mean, Neil is the biggest degenerate for a 2-year-old. I mean, going around and rooting parking cones and cars and blocking traffic by laying in the middle of the road.
Oh, that is just, a spokesperson did say Tasmania Police is committed to protecting the community and local businesses and detecting and preventing antisocial and criminal behaviour to make our public spaces safer for everyone. Our community deserves to feel safe at home and in public in their workplaces. Well, you could start by ensuring that they don't offend while they're out on bail.
I mean, it's not that hard.
Before I have a brain aneurysm, let's move on to your number 8.
Number 8 is a bit of a artistic measure. Florida man fraudster can't sell art after bursting into the scene, but it looks like him. A Miami fraudster cannot sell art after bust, but pretty sure it's him. A mere 400 feet from the FBI radar and shelter fine art gallery near the corner of Common Avenue and Coconut Grove lies somewhere between a nice little art museum and gift shop is a nice art gallery. And according to reports, a man was arrested and booked in for trying to steal fine art, but also while he was trying to sell his own art himself. You know how they came across him? There was a message on his underwear that claimed he was the sexiest man alive.
Sounds like the underwear gnomes have struck.
Apparently so. But inside the small gift shop on the Coconut Grove windows shop, a housewarming gift from their art consignment, best friend or mere sculpture of $2,000 was stolen. A 62-year-old art dealer is the one who did this. He has served prison time for selling fraudulent Peter Max art and was facing federal charges for money laundering and wire fraud and conspiracy. So our Florida man decides to break into the art gallery, steal some art, and then tries to go back to sell his own. He was arrested, and according to the court documents that his ex-wife provided was a co-signer on his $250,000 bond. I have no pictures of our Florida man, but let's just say he'll be judging the artwork in the county jail.
He wanted to make himself a Thomas Crown wannabe, mate. Let's be honest. You are nowhere near likely nowhere near the standard of Pierce Brosnan. Let's face it.
Let's be honest.
Right. Only Pierce Brosnan could have pulled something like that off. Yeah.
We would have
dumb. That is quite possibly the worst attempt at a genuine hustle I've ever seen.
You will not be getting any nominations for Hustle of the Year.
Yeah, exactly. Poor.
Who's your number 7, sir?
Number 7 takes us to Renmark in South Australia. And Mr. Mack is going to be busy this week because we've got a drug driver crashing into a hospital.
But
instead, because we've already had one drug case, instead.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
The driver of a car that allegedly crashed into the Renmark hospital might have some explaining to do. At about 12:40 a.m., police spotted a white Suzuki station wagon traveling on Renmark Avenue and attempted to stop it. However, it didn't stop. After 5 minutes later, police were called to Renmark Hospital following reports the same car had collided into the main entrance of the hospital and then left the scene. Police then located the car at a shopping centre car park where police say the driver, upon spotting patrols, drove towards the patrol car and mounted a curb. Police attempted to speak with the driver, however, the car took off again. Finally, the car was stopped on Industry Road and the driver was removed from the car. The driver was submitted to a drug test where he tested positive for, want to have a guess?
Methamphetamine.
Correct. He was then taken back to that very same hospital he'd crashed into earlier for further assessments.
Oh, of course he was.
Oh, God. Like, way to draw attention to yourself.
That's like the worst returning to the scene of the crime. Just the nurse coming in. All right, I'm here to draw left. Hey, you're the bloke that ran into the wall. Oh, I already know. You're Hammond.
God. I mean, I would love to have seen Dr. Cox from Scrubs then dealing with this guy. He would have fixed it.
The real question is, would he have insulted him before, prior, or during?
All three.
That's true. It's Dr. Cox.
It's Dr. Cox. Exactly. Who is your number 7?
Florida man tries to glam and scam with $2,000 worth of beauty products he stole from a Publix grocery store and was busted behind a Panera Bread.
What the hell?
Yes. A man is facing felony theft charges after police say he attempted to steal more than $2,000 worth of beauty products from a Publix grocery store. This is Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. Not to mention, they have these bomb-ass deli sandwiches. I'm already pissed off enough because he robbed them. But anger aside, according to the Coral Springs Police Department reports, Taylor Elliott Wesson, age 28, of Fort Lauderdale, was arrested on May 12th after a store employee reported the retail theft in progress at a Publix on the 22 and 01 North University Drive. The store manager told officers that the man, later identified as Wesson, entered the store, filled a cooler and 2 reusable bags full of shampoo, hair products, cosmetics, and then quickly exited the store without paying. Reports show that the estimate value of the product stolen was equivalent to $2,148.88. Law enforcement allegedly found Wesson fleeing on foot after ditching the stolen items outside the Publix. Staff followed him, and the police promptly arrived, according to the reports, located him behind the nearby Panera Bread, where he was detained without incident. He was then arrested and transported to the Brevard County Jail. No word on bond, but I'm fairly certain he didn't need it, okay? He did not need the shampoo. He did not need the conditioner and other fine hair products because this is Taylor. I just wanted to look pretty. I hired the best law firm of all time, the Castro, Myers, and Blandino. You'll get me out of this.
Those lips have definitely had some filler.
My question is, did he steal the right shade? If he stole autumn or summer colors, that's not going to work for him. He's bright.
No.
He needs spring colors to pop.
Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't want to go too hard on it because then otherwise then when they realize how much makeup he's going to get that he has on, they'll take it off and then realize that he actually looks like a full-blown meth addict. I mean, how much makeup do you reckon he was wearing that photo right then?
Oh God, he had to be.
That's a scary thought.
I mean, the way his eyes was popping, I don't see any guy liner, but it had to be there. But we can clearly see he was wearing some lip gloss.
There was some lip filler in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Botox.
Number 6 for the shit towns of Australia.
Number 6 takes us to Perth in Western Australia, where a she-drongo has accidentally burned down a house while trying to light drugs using a homemade candle made from metho. Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. This is amazing. A 29-year-old woman has faced court accused of starting a house fire in Bassendean that caused about $300,000 worth of damage when she tried to use a homemade candle to light drugs. Nikisha Jade Issard appeared in Midland Magistrates Court on Wednesday after being released from hospital following her escape from a house on Hamilton Street that engulfed in flames in the early hours of Tuesday morning. Police allege Izzard was responsible for the fire after she created a homemade candle using a small tin filled with methylated spirits.
I am at a loss here.
The court was told she punctured the tin with a hole and filled it with a small rope to burn drugs. She then allegedly used a cigarette lighter to ignite the candle before dropping it onto the leg of a man sitting next to her on a sofa. Police said the man received burns to 30% of his body and was still being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The court heard Issard told police she didn't mean it to happen after it all went down. She had only been living at the property for 2 weeks and did not know who the official tenant was. Oh my God. She told the court she was estranged from her young son and has struggled with heroin and cannabis addiction since she was 16. Ladies and gentlemen, behold this drink of water that somehow has progeny.
Jesus Christ.
There's the fire.
All I can say is that fire's been burning since this world's been turning.
Oh, get out. You're a disgrace. NCR, seriously.
Stop it. Get some help.
No. No.
There's even a supposedly nice photo of her at court. Like, seriously.
I mean, she looks like you want to expect her to know how to make a homemade candle from an Altoids tin and a bottle of Vicks Vapor Rub.
Oh, and she's had a son. That's the scary part.
Well, the good thing is the son's not in her custody.
This is true. This is very true. Who is your number 6?
Well, my number 6, I'm going to need a bit of help. CJ.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
No. Oh, no.
Yep. A Florida man injures a Coral Springs Macy's employee during theft, later found with a crack pipe hidden in his buttocks.
After we had the story last week of the person who had like methamphetamine shoved up his anus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Florida man heard that and said, "Hold my beer." But story was published on May 16th. But a Coral Springs news outlet released a story on a Pompano Beach man facing multiple charges after injuries leading to the loss prevention officer during a theft at a Coral Springs Macy's. Later, the man was found with a crack pipe hidden in his buttocks while he was in custody. Joel Perezzi, age 28, was arrested on May 5th after a Macy's employee witnessed him placing $70 worth of merchandise into a backpack and leaving the store on the 92 and 63 West Atlantic Boulevard without paying, according to the arrest reports. When the employees outside confronted Parisi to return the items, he resisted detainment and then pushed away aggressively, causing one of the employees to suffer minor lacerations to the hand during the struggle. The investigation revealed Parisi was previously banned from the store and is currently out on felony probation for prior theft charges.
What the hell?
Now, after he was arrested and booked into the Brevard County Jail, deputies discovered drug paraphernalia, a crack pipe, concealed inside of his buttocks. He was charged with retail theft, his third conviction, trespass after warning, receiving merchandise, possession of drug paraphernalia, and violation of felony probation, and is being held without bond. Now, I do have a mugshot of him. If you'll just give me 1 second.
I'm scared. I am so scared right now.
Here is Joel.
Yeah, that's pretty glassy, those eyes.
Yeah.
Pretty glassy.
But then again, it is Florida Man.
This is true.
Moving on, sir.
Number 5 for shit towns of Australia takes us back to Sydney. Yes, we're going home, ladies and gentlemen. Sydney, New South Wales, where a drongo arsonist accidentally sets himself on fire while trying to torch a barber shop. CCTV have captured the moment a man set himself on fire in what police suspect was a targeted arson attack on a Western Sydney barbershop. And to this guy, I can only say...
Now hold on. If they fucked up his hairline, I can see it being justified.
The incredible footage shows a man dressed in a black hooded tracksuit scampering down the footpath of Maryland's Road towards a barbershop with 2 items in his hand just after 4 a.m. He begins bashing the shop front with one of the items, creating an opening in the barbershop front window, through which he pours accelerant from a red jerry can. He also pours the accelerant on the footpath before bending down and setting it alight very close to his feet. The man is quickly engulfed by fire and appears to panic, throwing the jerry can and rolling into nearby bushes in an attempt to extinguish flames, engulfing his left hand and torso. Police revealed the man was wearing blue gloves at the time, which he appears to be attempting to remove as he struggles in the bushes. Shortly after, emergency services were called to the barbershop where they arrived to find a small fire at the front of the businesses, which was quickly extinguished. Police said the man fled the scene in a silver-coloured hatchback before they arrived. And, ladies and gentlemen, I think we do have some video of this. But, of course, as we get this up, there's an ad I have to get through first. Don't you love it? But we're going to be able to see properly what happened with this guy as he tried to set it on fire. And everyone will be able to see how much of a drongo this guy actually was.
I think we actually have some footage from after the fire.
Oh, save me, Jeebus!
Well, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the arsonist, or the wannabe arsonist, setting himself on fire. Bang! Like that. There he goes. Runs in. Smashes it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Come on, buddy, you can do it.
6, 7, 8. Come on. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Seriously, how strong is that damn glass?
There he goes. There he goes. Pouring the accelerant, pouring the fuel. There he goes. Does a decent job of it. Pouring it around, usual thing. Pouring it on the ground, gets it on his feet, landing his feet, and look at that. Bang! Instant karma. Oh. Oh, what a specimen.
What a charming, smart individual there.
Oh, how good's instant karma? Can we just say that?
Are you ready for my number 5, sir?
Oh, do it.
Florida man and Florida dad allegedly punched by BMW driver at Boca Raton school drop-off line.
A BMW driver.
Yes.
Oh, let's lay it on me.
A Boca Raton man was arrested at a school drop-off turning violent Monday morning as a father faced a barrage of punches from an irate driver. Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office said that the deputies responded to a report of a battery at Waters Edge Elementary School at 7:57 a.m. When deputies arrived, they spoke to the victim, who reported while he was dropping off his child, a BMW cut him off in the front of the school drop-off line. The victim then honked his horn in response. Well, that did not end so well because, according to the reports, they attempted to talk to the driver of the BMW, later identified as Kamar Muhammad. The victim pulled his car alongside the BMW. However, Muhammad did not respond to the victim by driving in front of him, he says. Muhammad, 35, then exited his vehicle. Witnesses told the sheriff's deputies that Muhammad approached the victim's car and began punching the driver's side window. According to the report, after the victim opened his window slightly, Muhammad struck it twice, shattering the glass, then allegedly punching him twice in the face before returning to his car and driving off. The victim spoke to a school crossing guard who captured a photo of Muhammad as he fled the scene while the deputies tracked him down via his license plate. Muhammad then was arrested for burglary with assault and battery charges, destruction of property of over $200, but under $1,000. No word on bond.
Jeez, wow.
And yes, I have a mugshot.
Yep. Let's do it.
Here is our Florida man in all of his glory.
Has another neckbeard.
Week of the neckbeards, apparently.
I know.
It's just, that face alone says, "You honked his horn at me. I had to teach him a lesson."
Oh, dear.
Moving on to number 4, sir.
Number 4, for shittown sakes, it's to Darwin in the Northern Territory, where a drongo accidentally shoots himself in the foot with a homemade gun.
Okay.
We got some bright sparks this week, haven't we?
Oh, yes.
The Northern Territory Police Force have seized a homemade firearm and other firearm equipment following an incident in Moyle on Sunday. At about 4:10 a.m., the Joint Emergency Services Communication Centre received multiple calls in relation to a discharge of a firearm at a residence. As part of these calls, a 43-year-old male called to self-report that he had unintentionally shot himself in the foot. Police deployed and applied first aid to the male at a residence before he was conveyed to Royal Darwin Hospital by St John's Ambulance Service in a serious but stable condition. Police seized a privately manufactured firearm following the incident. Yesterday, members from the Firearms Order Enforcement Unit conducted a lawful search at the residence and subsequently seized a partially manufactured firearm, an electronic firing device for explosives, and other equipment used in the manufacturing of firearms. Investigations are ongoing. The male is expected to be charged at a later date. Now, ladies and gentlemen, those who think it's a good idea to manufacture your own guns clearly don't know how to use a 3D printer. Let's start off with that.
Perhaps he had that spicy cookbook.
The really spicy one.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be careful with that because the pellets can come out at the wrong time.
True.
But all I could say to this guy who thought he could try and make his own guns.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Indeed, sir. Indeed.
Oh dear. Who is your number 4?
Number 4 is a bit of a funny one and a holy one at the same time. Pope Leo, the recently anointed Pope from America's eldest brother, turns out it's a Florida man.
What the hell?
Yes, the new Pope's brother is a Florida man. Pope Leo's Trumpy brother shares a video calling Nancy Pelosi the C word.
Oh, this is going to get spicy.
While Democrats are celebrating the election of Pope Leo the 14th as a middle finger to President Donald Trump, there's an unlikely ally to this. And the most least likely person to have mixed feelings is the Pope's brother, Louis. The Pope's eldest brother, who lives in Port Charlotte, Florida, told the New York Times in a recent interview his brother has been elected and become a shocking joke. A shocking joke going, geez, it was like just yesterday I was throwing him down the stairs and now he's Pope. Oh. Leo then tells the Times while he's been his brother Robert disagrees with some of the things he has done and said in the past, but he tells him he isn't that much of a pacifist as his brother is, explaining with a little more conviction than rarely explained. It is later revealed that Pope Leo's brother had made several videos posted on X/Twitter in a feed revealing a profane rant and criticizing at the time J.D. Vance, the vice president, and making a video that was revealed on Facebook from 1996 while in the Capitol. Those effing liberals are crying about tariffs. No, wait, I'm sorry. The video was about Nancy Pelosi, as she has been a representative of the Democrats from 1996 while in the Capitol. Their effing liberals are crying about tariffs. It's just unreal. Do they not know that there are these things called videos? Just listen to while this drunk cunt has to say in the mid-90s before her husband began his grinder dates. Jesus Christ.
Oh, jeez. And we do want to just stress to everyone, ladies and gentlemen, that is an actual quote.
He then, in the article, criticizes President Zelensky.
Oh, here we go.
Tim Waltz. Oh. I mean, I can't read anymore without us risking getting flamed or the studio attacked by the anti-Tesla people. But we do have a picture of Pope Leo and Lewis.
Oh, here we go. Oh, this is gonna be rich.
Pardon your souls and bless you all.
Jesus
Fuck off my
How
lawn.
similar, how similar do they look?
But look at this. Look at this. I will bless you, my children, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Nancy Pelosi's a say. It's best to turn the other cheek. I'll get my gun.
Oh my god, that is amazing. That is very worthy of a Florida man moment. That man could end up becoming the most famous Florida man of the year.
You know, that only made number 4. So you know what I have for my medalists are going to be even better.
Oh, mate. Guess what?
What?
Oh, I think I've got one that's gonna be what the hell, and then I've got two that are gonna be what the hell, and then one is just like get the wood chipper. Seriously, get the wood chipper.
Let's
My bronze medalist takes us to Maroochydore in Queensland, where a pest has been caught wanking in someone's yard while patting their dog. Oh my god.
You weirdo.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, this is the first story that we've got that's going to be behind a paywall. But a married Mooloolaba man has been heavily fined after he was found masturbating twice in another person's front yard while petting a dog. Frank Vella pled guilty and was quoted as saying, "It's not what it looks like."
Tony Khan told me I can do this.
And because we love to do it, and we love to see this, ladies and gentlemen, here's Frank Vella.
He looks like if Scott Steiner never worked out and got hard into drugs.
Mate, the Steiner math did not add up for Frank Vella.
All right, so normally when you're having a wank, it's one-on-one. But then when you do it in public and there's a dog there, you have a 33 and a third chance of winning. But apparently, I forgot that law exists, so it took my 33 and a third shot and brought it down to 0.
Are you suggesting we get Scott Steiner in on the show one day?
I would. You think I wouldn't enjoy that? Dwayne would be in here like, hold on, taking the mic from me. Hey, so remember that match at Halloween Havoc 1995?
Actually, to be fair, Bron Breakker would love this kind of stuff.
Again, we get any of the Steiners in here. We get an actual wrestler on this show. Dwayne's going to be up in here, be like stealing the mic from me after every question.
Oh, who's your bronze medalist?
My bronze medalist is a Florida man and woman duo. Florida man and woman busted in a mop and rob scam after posing as cleaners and sweeping away with $10,000 in jewelry. Okay, I just love this headline from the actual news outlet, the Tamarack Talk. No clean getaway. Scamming cleaning service bandits busted after a string of robberies. The couple, Oscar German Muntz Gonzalez, not Gonzalez, but Gariso, and Martha Celine Molino have been busted after the Coral Springs SWAT team led to the arrest of the two in a string of residential burglaries disguised as a cleaning service. On May 6th, the detectives from the Coral Springs Department and the SWAT team executed search warrants on the residence at the 2300 block of Northwest 48th Lane in Coral Springs, where they found the 61-year-old male and the 57-year-old female. The warrant included arrest for them stemming from an investigation of burglaries reported on April 8th, where nearly $10,000 worth of cash and jewelry were stolen from the residence. Now, the surveillance footage shows them entering the gated community through a rental car, parking at a owner's property next to the vehicle, where they then began to go inside and perform as if they were cleaners. The woman was carrying a large bucket, mop, and broom, where they began to go into the property and steal several items of jewelry. They matched the description of other people in the area who had stuff stolen from them. They were taken to the Brevard County Jail, where they were both released after posting a $20,000 bond. The investigation is still ongoing, and they encourage other victims or individuals with information according to this to come forward. And I do have their mugshots.
Oh, here we go.
And I'm just going to say this. One of them actually looks like, well, one of our sponsors. Why does that gentleman look so familiar?
Wasn't he supposed to be suited up and in court somewhere?
I believe so.
He's supposed to be working right now, isn't he? Isn't he working on a new case?
Well, I think he is, but remember, no, money down.
Yeah, true. Yeah, did forget about that. Oh.
Who's your silver medalist, sir?
My silver medalist takes us to Binningup in Western Australia. Now, people here are probably wondering, well, that's the first time I've ever heard of Binningup. Where the hell is that? Where is it? Ladies and gentlemen, it's right on the coast of Western Australia, south of Perth, on the way to Albany. So it's south of Perth. Perth's a fair way down. Nearby towns include Bustleton, and then you get down eventually to the Margaret River, which, to be fair, the Margaret River is actually very nice wine territory.
Ooh, sounds like a nice place to visit or ever make my way to Australia.
Indeed it is. Unfortunately, not when you have to deal with idiots like this. A dropkick has been caught stealing front lawn from the house of a deceased estate. I kid you not.
I'm literally throwing my glasses at my computer here, so...
We were just in shock. We just can't believe people would stoop to this level. These are the words from a grieving son about a suburban southwest crime that would have you question just how low some people can go. Last July, Sean Joseph lost his dad in a car accident. It was just weeks before his dad was about to finish and move into his dream house in Binningup. Putting his grief aside, Sean decided to finish landscaping the house for sale, but he soon discovered someone had stolen the freshly laid turf from the front yard. Sunday morning, I was about to head off to work, and the real estate agent actually gave me a call and asked me if I'd taken any of the grass, and that's when the realization that a big chunk had been stolen over the weekend. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have never heard of people stooping to this level of shithousery. This is about, and NCR, I think we're going to need Reginald to come in here because this is pure shenanigans right now.
It is. Reggie, would you kindly?
Shenanigans. Do 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 do. Shenanigans. Do 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 do. Shenanigans. Do 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 do.
Thank you, Reggie.
Thank you, Reggie. Now, for this one, it's a little bit different because the news article is not actually a news article per se. It is a recording of the radio show where the story was actually broken. So when you click on the link, you'll be able to listen to the podcast of it. But what I do have for you is a picture of what happened. Just to demonstrate to you, whoops, wrong one there. I want to actually share. Where is it? Hang on a second. Let's get it right. That one there. So this is what the manicured lawn looked like. Very nice and pretty and whatnot. And this is what they discovered. I mean, who steals lawn?
Crackheads?
Oh. I mean, is this almost golden turd?
It's up there.
Oh, dear, oh dear.
It's like knocking on the door.
Who's your gold medalist?
I'm on my gold medalist. Well,
oh, sorry, no, apologies. It is your silver medalist, indeed. Apologies, your silver medalist.
Oh, my silver medalist. A Coral Springs man is arrested after a backyard shooting sparked from gambling dispute.
Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good.
A man was taken into custody this week. According to a 2-month investigation involving a shooting in a backyard involving gambling debts from playing cards and dominoes. According to the arrest affidavit, Winston Judai, age 43 of Coral Springs, was arrested after a shooting occurred at a dwelling. The records show the investigation stemmed from an incident that happened on March 8th when officers were called to a residence in Lauren Hill regarding a shooting. Responding officers located the victim in the front yard of the house with a grazed wound to his forehead. The victim approached and appeared confused and disoriented, according to the police reports. The victim was identified by a nickname, AJ. Witnesses tell police that the shooting took place in the backyard gathering where guests were playing cards and dominoes. According to witnesses, Judai was involved in a heated argument over money. Shocker. The records show, and during the dispute, witnesses allege that Judai pulled out a firearm, recklessly waved it around, and ultimately fired towards the kitchen window, striking the victim on the inside of the house. The victim later also identified Judai as the shooter. Transcripts of the interview conducted earlier found out that it was not AJ, but LJ was his nickname. The investigators found Judai's residence, asked him about the shooting at the scene, where he said he did not do it. Although there were plenty of witnesses and evidence to point him to it, he was ultimately apprehended at a strip mall on the 4400 block of North Universal Drive. No word on bond.
Wow.
Who's your silver medalist? Well, who's your gold medalist, I should say?
Before I get to that, that's wild. And all over a game of dominoes, if I remember rightly as well.
Yes.
I never understood that game, to be perfectly honest, but anyway. My gold medalist. My gold medalist for the shit towns of Australia for the week ending the 18th of May, 2025 is Mooloolaba in New South Wales and NCR. Seriously, not only are we going to need the wood chipper, but get King Shark ready because our gold medalist is not only getting the golden turd, she's getting a one-way ticket to the wood chipper. A dead shit treasurer nicks $38,000 from a volunteer fire brigade's account.
King?
Oh, well, you can kindly go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Now, we've got the original story of when she was charged, but we can confirm she has now pled guilty. A woman by the name of Tiana Jane Lynette Alsop was charged and is now convicted after pleading guilty of embezzlement from a rural fire service station. And I want to point out the rural fire stations in New South Wales are all voluntary. On Sunday, the 29th of December, 2024, police attached to the Tweed Byron Police District were notified of fraudulent activity in the accounts of a volunteer fire brigade. Police alleged in court that more than $38,000 had allegedly been transferred from the brigade's account to a personal bank account. Following extensive inquiries, police then spoke with a 27-year-old woman at a home in Wollongbar, and she was arrested on Monday, the 25th of February, given court notice. We can confirm during the week that Tiana Jane Lynette Alsop pled guilty to one count of embezzlement as clerk or servant after siphoning off that $38,000, and it was done over 20 months. And I'm pretty sure, ladies and gentlemen, that we have a photo.
I'm just gonna say it. She needs to pay for this. Jail's not enough.
I am disgusted. I am seriously disgusted. King Shark really did sum it up best.
Yes, he did.
Who is your gold medalist?
My gold medalist takes me back to my stomping grounds.
Oh, we're going to Polk County, are we?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
This one is going to infuriate you, make you laugh, and then we're going to need to get the big wood chippers ready.
Oh.
More than 250 suspects have been arrested in a 9-day undercover investigation in Polk County. I'm going to call this what it should really be called. They called it Operation Fool Around and Find Out. Let's say what it is. Operation Fuck Around and Find Out.
We're gonna get the captain to do a clip of that for us.
Oh yes, we do. But the Polk County Sheriff's Office and Grady Judd said that 4 human trafficking victims were identified in this organization, in this bust. They not only caught the human traffickers themselves, but child predators and some illegal immigrants. In Winter Haven, Florida, more than 250 suspects were arrested during the 9-day undercover investigation, Operation Fool Around and Find Out, focusing on human trafficking, child predators, and illegal aliens. Of the 255 suspects involved in the investigation, 141 suspects were charged with soliciting prostitution. 93 suspects were charged with offenses committing prostitution. 10 more suspects were charged with crimes related to prostitution, such as aiding and abetting a prostitute, transporting a prostitute. 11 suspects traveled to meet minors, and other crimes involving offending against children. The deputies also say, out of all of the people arrested, a total of 102 felony charges were placed. 284 misdemeanor charges were placed during the investigation. And if you total up their criminal histories, a total of 400 felonies and 519 misdemeanor charges, ranging from premeditated murder, kidnapping, robbery, aggravated battery, and sexual assault charges. 15% of the arrests were in human trafficking operations, child predator operations, and illegals in the country. We had 22 suspects who received government assistance. Grady Judd said, we all work. We pay taxes, and then our tax money is given to these folks to come commit crimes. The youngest person arrested was 17 years old. The oldest was 70 years old. 8 firearms were taken. But not only that, one of the people was a registered offender out of Tampa who was going to meet a 15-year-old girl and had his baby in the car with him.
What the hell?
Oh, it's gonna get worse.
Oh, no, it surely can't.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Because the investigation also arrested a former NFL player, a retired linebacker who has a 6-year-old. He left in the car, and from the town I used to live in, Lakeland, a former well-known law firm's associate who showed up to meet somebody who also told the sheriff's department that he was HIV positive.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
They rescued several people who were victims of human trafficking. That's the good thing. But I can't do this justice just by mere words. My words aren't good enough. But Grady Judd did do a press conference, and I have some segments that we can watch of the man doing the best roasting on shaming.
It's got to be done. It'd be rude not to.
I mean, I don't want to be rude, but here's a mother and daughter
So
team.
here's the one that I think is just super cool. This is like mother, like daughter. So we're talking to a mom, 48, Sherry Pena. She's on public assistance. She's living at a DV shelter in Central Florida. She drove her daughter, Haley Pena, 23, to have sex. When we ask her, you're a mother to this young lady, what are you thinking? She said, oh, whoa, wait a minute. I just thought I was taking her to buy drugs.
You're taking your daughter to meet a John, but then your defense is, I thought I was just taking her to buy some drugs. Well, meet our next
43
roastie.
from Davenport. This is our human trafficking and prostitution, folks.
Hold on.
He's charged from Davenport. These, how about Jason Bathis from
Jason
43
Bathis
from Davenport. This is our human trafficking and prostitution, folks. He's charged with offering to commit. This Jason Bathis. Okay, when he walks in, you think, well, I have set up a deal with an ugly woman, and I think you would all agree that this guy's an ugly woman.
I need to pause something here. That is a latex female torso suit he's wearing.
What? Okay, so first off, I can go back to the other one very quickly. That Haley just screamed vibes of Catch Me Outside. How about that?
Yes.
This one here, that looks like the worst AI job I've ever seen in my life. That's an actual person.
Yes. You see, if you notice his face and his arm right here, it doesn't match the neck.
No.
When I was watching this on my TV, you can see that it's a latex bodysuit.
What the hell?
Right? This is what you really get when the makeup comes off. Now, I want you to think about this a minute, okay? You decide that you're going to hook up with a woman. She comes in, and she's already uglier than a mud fence, right? And then as you start to engage, you find out, hey, this dudette is a dude, and look what he really looks like. Yeah, he looks like he should have been in a Scarface movie someplace. I don't know. This is what's happening. People think they're getting this, and many times they're getting a really bad guy. So this is the before and after.
Wait for it.
When you find them in the bar at night, you try to drink them pretty, and you wake up the next morning and you see this. Yeah, that's what we call Rolex ugly. Rolex ugly is you wake up the next morning and they're laying on your arm and your Rolex is there and you just chew your arm off and leave the Rolex. You don't care about the Rolex. But that's the kind of people we're going to talk about.
This is the NFL
then
player.
There's Darius Taylor. He's 34. He played at Lakeland High, or not, I'm sorry, Lake Gibson.
Oh my!
Oh no!
Oh, another neck beard. And Lake Gibson at that.
Well, that's my alma mater.
I know.
Oh,
check out the neck beard on this guy.
Outstanding career in the NFL. He played for the Carolina Panthers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, you dispersed the name of the Cleveland Browns, sir. So I'm getting a double dose.
Yeah, he's gone up and played for Ohio.
He made a lot of mistakes. He not only brought his 6-year-old child to the operation, but he left his 6-year-old child in the car when he went to do the operation. The 6-year-old child has a lot of medical issues, and he left this child alone that should have never been left alone because of medical conditions. DCF was on site, took possession of the child immediately, found mom. Mom came and got the child. The child is doing fine. This guy here, obviously he must have hit one too many people as a linebacker because his brain cells are scrambled.
Well,
shown up in the first place.
There's one more I want to show you.
You got to be kidding me, man. Wearing gloves in Trinity, Florida. You're out.
Okay, we're gonna let this little bit play out.
And your wife's
hold
on, and everything. You got to be kidding me, man. You're not home taking care of your wife. Somebody who's done everything for you. You're out scally-dogging around.
Scally-dogging.
Okay. This is the last person we're going to show from the press conference. And before I continue, I have to say thank you to Fox 13.
I'm your moderator, Larry King. Now, a word to our audience. Even though we're being broadcast on Fox, there's no need for obnoxious hooting and hollering.
Oh, I'm so glad we added that.
But this one's going to make you laugh.
Nasty people. Then there's Patrick Dang. He's 40. He's from Newport Richie.
Patrick Dang.
And he owns Dang Good Sushi in Trinity, Florida. Yeah. He came for a dang good time, but it didn't work out that way. Next time you go there and get sushi, you may want to make sure that he's wearing gloves or washed his hands. And by the way, I had some law enforcement officers that had been at his restaurant, said it's pretty good sushi.
Pause. Look at the guy in the background. He can barely hold it.
I know. My man back here is like, don't laugh. Don't laugh. Oh, if you watch the press conference in its entirety, Grady has every law enforcement agent back there, the people who work from human trafficking agencies, just laughing and just like, don't laugh, don't laugh.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
Alphonse Ibua, 37. He's an IT tech for Paragon Systems, and he's contracted by the federal government. He's married. He's an 8-year Army vet. His wife thought he was at the gym. Well, he was going to do some exercise. I got to admit that.
We had to leave that one on the high note of he's going to do some exercises, I guess. But that was my gold medalist. I told you.
And the MVP has just gone to Grady Judd for that. That was a masterclass.
You know, I have been wondering since I watched the press conference this one thing. When Daniel Dang went to the operation and they arrested him and they said, "Sir, you're under arrest," did he go, "Oh, dang it"?
Oh my God, get out. Get out. Get out. Oh, I am.
What can I say?
I think I'm going to be sick. Seriously, people.
But all people in the investigation were arrested and charged and are in jail or have been bonded out on very high bonds. And we had several people who work in the government and high-ranking offices who have been, well, facing some extra punishments.
Jeez. Oh, that's wild.
Oh yeah. I saw that and I knew it was going to be number one this week.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I will claim the golden turd this week. I'll put it that way.
Fair enough. But I will claim the MVP for Operation Fool Around and Find Out.
Oh God! And ladies and gentlemen, make sure if you do ever decide to engage in sex work, please make sure you don't end up becoming a victim of a catfishing, because that can get very embarrassing.
It can. You don't want to wake, and you don't want to wake up to someone who's Rolex ugly.
As that song says, there ain't no ugly people after 2 a.m. That's one of the worst things I've ever done in my life.
I don't know, man. I think Jason over there could prove us wrong.
Oh boy.
So on that note, I want to thank you all for joining us for another week of chicanery and shenanigans galore. I am NCR Network.
I'm Anthony Caruso.
And we will see you guys next time.